Hello y'all, this is Jay's Good from a Diamond and Sticks YouTube channel. I'm going to do a video of driving and showing you all on my way over to Pike County to where my daughter's grandparents live at, because I got to go pick up my youngest daughter. She spent the weekend, well since Friday night with her other grandparents and her dad's family, so I got to go over there and pick her up now. And so I'm driving through Weisberg right now. There's our ARH Weisberg Hospital. That's what it looks like. And I'm going to stop up here at McDonald's and get me something to drink. I'm thirsty. And I got a little bit of a drive ahead of me, so I didn't feel all the way, but from my house it probably takes about 45 minutes if you're driving at a normal speed to get over there. But usually I drive a little bit slower than most people, so it might take me a little bit longer. But I'm already at Weisberg. I'm already at the midpoint in Weisberg here. I'm getting ready to pull off for the McDonald's, and that's what our skies look like. They're kind of a little bit, got some little rain clouds and stuff in the sky. It might rain later on. I'll pull over here at McDonald's in their drive-through. It's a two-story McDonald's, but I've never been, since they remodeled it and stuff, I've never been on the inside. I don't know what kind of vehicle those little things are, but they're cute. Those little truck car combination things. I like the color of that one too. I've got my oldest daughter in the vehicle with me too, but she don't want to be on camera, so I'm not going to put her on camera.
Can you get Oreo Shamrock?
Yeah. Is that a Blizzard or what is that?
Yeah.
Okay. You want small or does it come
Small.
Okay. We're here at the McDonald's parking lot. I'm gonna get a couple things on my way over to Pike County, and I don't like trying mint stuff, but my oldest daughter and her dad does, and so that's why you'll never see me like on a YouTube video trying like mint flavored stuff. I don't like it in desserts or candies. But I'm just stopping here to get a drink on my way over to Pike County. They live across the Pike County line a little bit in the mountainous area, I guess you could say, of Pike County. That's what's on the menu now here on McDonald's. This is what our drive-thru looks like. I stopped at Taco Bell on the way here too to get my oldest daughter something she wanted to eat later. It's not that cold out here. It's a little bit cold, but not a whole lot. Only reason I have my window down is for the drive-thru. Tessa, can you hold this and point it that direction while I can film for a minute?
Will you be using the mobile app?
No, I don't have one. No, thank you.
What can I get for you?
I want a large caramel frappe with extra caramel.
Okay.
And then I want a small, the Oreo mint Blizzard thing or whatever that is.
Mini Shamrock mint McFlurry?
Yeah.
Okay.
And that's all.
Alright, your total is going to come to $7.39.
Alright, thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay, just hold it for a second, Tess. I'm letting my oldest daughter hold the phone for a second to film so I can pay for this and stuff. Alright. I'll get the phone back. This is what it looks like across from our McDonald's parking lot here. If you go that direction, you go up towards Pine Mountain. I'm a little bit uncomfortable feeling like this, you guys. I guess I gotta get used to it. I know a lot of people around these areas do not like to be filmed, and I understand completely, because I used to be the same way, and I still kind of am the same way. So I'm trying not to get other people as much as I can on camera. I don't know if y'all can tell it or not, but up there, I don't know if you can see it, up there about where that pine tree is, there's a house, and that's where one of the doctors that used to live in the Isom area, or they had a clinic in the Isom area, like close to where I live at. That's where they that's where they live at now. They moved and they have a clinic now. I think they have a clinic, or maybe their son took over. Their son was like a year older than me in school, and I think he took over for them, and they have an office in, it's like going towards, stop Tess, it's like going towards Perry County, and so it's a little bit of ways from my house, but that's where they live at now, is up on that mountain, right where that pine tree is, up above that red car. They're just like a general doctor. Sometime I will take you up to Pine Mountain, but you go that direction and you just keep going up that mountain there. Alright, we're moving.
7:39.
That one vehicle is smoking. That van, it's a smoking.
Well, you gotta give these, like, you gotta treat these with like 10 or 11 care.
Yeah.
Because they will not work if you don't.
Thank you. You too. Thank you so much. Okay. Let me stop here for a second. I might not have pulled up too close to the window, or close enough. Sorry guys, I'm not talking much. I'm just trying to be a little bit quiet as I'm ordering this stuff and getting this stuff.
Alright. Oh, I'm giving you a straw with an Oreo or a flurry.
Oh, those are cute. I don't like mint stuff, but my oldest daughter, she likes mint stuff, and so does her dad. I don't like mint. I like mints. I just don't like mint flavored desserts. It looks like it's definitely going to rain sometime tonight.
Hey, we got you.
Thank you so
Have a good
much.
night.
You too. Thank you. Will you put this in a cup holder? Hold it for me, Tess, so I can drive. They're always super friendly there at that McDonald's. And trust me, there is a difference. I'm gonna roll the window back up because it's getting a little bit cool. There is definitely a difference in the McDonald's around here in Eastern Kentucky. Because if you go that direction there, keep going that way, and you go up that mountain, that takes you to Pine Mountain. But we are going to Pike County. And so I'm going to go this direction. Will you open my drink up, Tess, and put the straw in it and stuff? Or did you already? Okay, I think she did already. I'm gonna try to steady the camera here so I can get me a drink, because I am thirsty. I got a caramel frappe with extra caramel. So, that's what it My youngest daughter's got me addicted to drinking these. Before, I wouldn't even drink coffee, but like 5 times a year, if that. And now I'm starting to drink these little frappe things and cold coffees as much as I can. We always get extra caramel in them. This up here is the school up on the right on this hill. That's where my youngest daughter goes to school. And that's where my oldest daughter used to go to school. She's 20 years old, so she's out of high school now. And then this little house over here, it got flooded back in the flood of 2022. The July flood of 2022. That house, nobody's living in it now, but the owners of it, they used to own my house when it was up on that Letcher County Central School Hill. And they used to rent it out, but before I had it moved, I bought it through like an auction one time whenever they was like selling all those houses and stuff that used to be on that school hill to build the school, the Letcher County Central High School. The roads are really bad right through here. You're gonna see even worse roads though, unless if they got them fixed. I don't know if they have or haven't. I haven't been over here in a while. On like the Letcher County, Pike County line. I'm just not. There's our double quick gas station, and they also have an Arby's. And I used to work at that gas station. Well, I used to work at that Arby's section of that gas station years and years ago. Like back in, I think it was like back in 2007. So it was a long time ago. But I used to be the breakfast cook at Arby's. And I also would be like the prep cook. And then if I had like a crew of teenagers and stuff like that, I would stay over for lunch and then until they had like the lunch, you know, everybody, the lunch rush or whatever was all figured out or whatever you want to call it. And I do have my lights on even though it doesn't look like I do. It's just getting really dark outside and stuff. But anyways, sometimes at one point in time back in like 2007, when I was working at Arby's like that, I'd have to get up at like 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning too to go be the breakfast cook, and I was the only one. And then it wasn't until like, I don't know, probably about 9 o'clock or 10 o'clock in the morning, and you would get breakfast rushes too. But and a lot of times too, people would order like Arby's sandwiches and stuff for breakfast, so you would have to make sure that you had roast beef and stuff. And if they didn't do it from the night before, usually the night before back then whenever I worked, it was always like teenage crews, and they was real bad about not putting the roast on to cook it through the night, and it would take like, I think like 5 or 6 hours to cook a roast or whatever in the oven. And so, and I'd also have to put all the bacons and stuff in the oven for the salads and stuff, because I did the prepping too, and also for the breakfast. And I did the pepper bacon back then for Arby's whenever I worked there. And before I got a job there, actually there was this woman that I know of or whatever. She had got her fingers, the tips of her fingers, accidentally sliced, because she was like in her 50s at the time, and she was going through a divorce because that was the only relationship I guess she'd ever knew, like serious relationship, and it was the father of her daughter, her child, and I'm sure it upset her and stuff, and that late in life, just for her husband, I'm pretty sure he had an affair on her, and it was with a younger girl, and he left her and wanted a divorce from her, and so she'd never had to really work a job before or nothing, before all that. And so anyways, she got a job there at Arby's, and this was before I started working. But I guess she was distracted and stuff from her life and stuff, and so anyways, she was using the meat slicer for the roast beef, and she ended up, I think that's how it happened anyway, she ended up cutting off the tips of her fingers. And so yeah, stuff like that does happen. But that was before I started working there. But at one point in time while I was working there, I was working like, I think 3 jobs at a time, because I was working at Arby's as the breakfast cook, the prep cook, and then the lunch, you know, the lunch rush or whatever. And then from there, I would get off whatever time I got off. Like sometimes it was just a cordon. It was either like 1, or it could have been as late as like 4 or 5. If I got off like, or 3, 4, or 5, whatever. Anyways, if I got off anywhere between those time periods, I would, before the other lunch rush or whatever, I would go to Courthouse Cafe. That place don't exist no more. Courthouse Cafe don't. It used to be kind of like a little dining restaurant, a little kind of on the upscale restaurant or whatever. It was near the courthouse and stuff in downtown Letcher County, downtown Weisburg or whatever. And I used to work there as a waitress, and I also would work there for the lunch hour rushes, and also it's just like a prep. I was the prep as far as like, I would make the salads, the salad dressings. Sometimes I would make, they were real well known and kind of famous in Kentucky and eastern Kentucky for their tanglewood pie. And so I would work there and stuff as like, kind of like I would make the pies and stuff. And also the skies are really pretty right through there. They're pink and blue looking. But anyways, I would make the pies, and I would get the teas and stuff like that ready, and lemonade and stuff, and just wait tables and stuff. That was basically all my job was. And then from there, I would go to like in the night, I would go to a place called Pine Mountain Grill, and that's another kind of upscale restaurant in Weisburg, like sit-down restaurant or whatever. And the Childers Family Company, they own it. They're like the richest people probably in Letcher County, and it was that big restaurant where we just came from McDonald's. It was right across from McDonald's and stuff. Here's a trailer lot in Letcher County. We don't have that many, but there's one of them. We're like going towards the Making area right now, but there's a trailer lot. But anyways, I would work in the nights and afternoons, evenings or whatever. I would work there for however long it took, unless if they asked something different of me. There's somebody walking too. I always see a lot of people walking anymore. They're starting to walk a lot more like they used to on the sides of the highway and the roads and stuff. But anyways, what I would do, what my job consisted of, is all it was I was supposed to clean the bathrooms at Pine Mountain Grill. But if they asked me to do something else, like set up for a party or something like that, or clean like their party room or whatever, I did that too. Or if they asked me to like clean other parts of the building or whatever, I would do that too. And so that's basically all my job was and stuff. And then I would go home, go straight to bed, and I was wore out, and I never did make no money. That was whenever minimum wage was like, in our area, minimum wage is always low because this is a rural place and this is eastern Kentucky. But anyways, that was whenever our minimum wage was probably like $6.15 or something, because it was back in like 2007. And so, yeah, never did make no money, and that's the reason why I had 3 jobs in the first place. Because at the time I just had one of my daughters. I just had my oldest daughter, and I was kind of going through a divorce too, off and on during them times or whatever. But anyways, that was why I took on 3 jobs, is I was trying my best to earn some money and stuff to better my life and my daughter's life and stuff, and you know, so we could have a better life in future. But I never did make no money working 3 jobs like that, and I never did hardly get no tips or nothing like that. No good tips. You would think you would, but no, I never did. I'm sure some of the girls did, but I never did. Or nothing. Like whenever I worked at Courthouse Cafe, I would get tips, but they wouldn't be all that great. And it's always, or I know at least it was for me, like the people who have money are the ones that would less likely be the ones to give you good tips. That's how it was for me anyways back then whenever I was working as a waitress and stuff part-time. They would hardly, in like big groups of people, they would hardly ever give you good tips. The people who would give you the biggest tips, and I think this is probably still the same way to this day, because I know that's how I am too, as a person, as an individual woman or whatever myself. It's like the people with the least amount of money, they're the ones who will tip you the best if they got it to do it, if they're eating out, period, or whatever, because they know that they're going to have to leave a tip or whatever. Or I know, like with myself, or else I wouldn't be eating out in the first place. But if I knew it was a place that you kind of have to leave tips at or whatever. But my ears are popping, I'm sorry guys. We're going up this incline here, and if you go that direction there on the right hand side, that takes you up to Virginia, over into Virginia. We're going in the Jenkins way. We're going over here. We got to go towards Pike County. We're going to Pike County anyways or whatever to pick up my youngest daughter. But anyways, no, the people that would leave you tips back then whenever I used to work as a waitress and stuff was the people with either the least amount of money that had worked a job like that or similar to that before. And it's usually women. Women do tip better than men and stuff, because like I had lawyers, because it was called the Courthouse Cafe and it was right across from the courthouse and stuff back then. But anyways, you would have lawyers and business people and all kinds of people come in there, and people with high paying jobs and stuff, and those people, you can kind of see the sunset on the other side. Anyways, those people wouldn't hardly leave you but like maybe $3. And so they would not tip you good. I don't know, it might have changed since then, or maybe it was just because it was me. I don't know. But anyways, they would not tip you good. And I don't know if you guys can look up, but up there, up that direction towards Virginia, that's the earthquake rocks. Scientists come in here and study them rocks from time to time, because I don't think that there's another place in the world that kind of formation exists. And so I could be wrong, but I don't think there is. And so anyways, scientists come in here every so often, not real often or nothing, but they have done it in probably a handful of times in my lifetime or whatever, and I'm 43. But anyways, they come in here and they study them rocks and stuff. Here's some more bumps. Over here on this other side, that's the Jenkins High School. It's an independent school here in Letcher County. And that's also, if you're familiar with the judge and the sheriff, where the sheriff pooped up the judge here in Letcher County, that's where they had his funeral at, because I think this is where he was mostly from, the judge was. And so he might have even lived up here in the Jenkins area. I'm not really positive for sure. And then I don't know if you can see it or not. We're not going down that direction, but down there is the Jenkins Lake. And a lot of times there is like, or there has been like, lawyers and judges and stuff that live next to the lake on the other side over there in Jenkins here in Letcher County. I'm pretty sure, or now, I think he's called the county attorney. I could be wrong, so I'll just say allegedly or whatever. But I'm pretty sure like the judges that got pewed up or whatever, his brother-in-law, I'm pretty sure he lives over there somewhere, but I could be wrong. Next to the lake over there at Jenkins. And so we're gonna turn right here. This is the little downtown city of Jenkins that we're driving through. Going past Hardee's. See, just this area alone is like 35 minutes from my house. This Jenkins right here. The little town of Jenkins is 35 minutes from my house. So, we got a while of ways to go. Right here, this building that used to be a long, long time ago, way before my time, that used to be I think it was a Jenkins High School or Jenkins Grade School. And then probably about 20-something years ago, they remodeled them and they fixed them up into apartments. Real nice apartments. And I'm sure they're costly too, but you have to be 53 years old or older, I believe, to even qualify to live in them. So, but they're very, very nice on the inside apartments. And I think that's a good idea. That's just my opinion, but I think that's a good idea to do, like old buildings like that, old schools and stuff. I've always been fascinated actually with that. Just a little personal kink, I guess, that I'm fascinated by. But I know that they did that too over past Pike County where we're going, towards Elkhorn City over in Pike County. They did that with the old Elkhorn City High School about 15 years ago, I think it was. And I know those are like some of the nicest apartments around here, but they're also very expensive. And they're inside the school, just like how they are back there with the Jenkins ones. But I'm not sure if you have to be older or not to qualify to live in the ones at the Elkhorn City ones or not. But I know they're expensive because even back then, before the economy started skyrocketing and stuff, and like I said, that was probably about 15 years ago when they remodeled them. I know they was charging, and that's high for around here, like even back then, you know, but they was charging like, I think like $500 and $600, $700, $800, $900 just for a 1-bedroom, 1-bath apartment room or whatever, because it's in the building, you know, of the old school or whatever, the ones at Elkhorn City. So I'm not sure how much the ones at Jenkins cost. I just know that the ones at Jenkins, in that section or whatever where the old school used to be that they remodeled, you have to be, or you did anyways a few years ago, you have to be 53 years of age or older, I believe, to live in them, to qualify for them. And what we're driving past now here in Jenkins, these are what you call old coal houses. When the coal businesses was booming, they kind of built houses like boxes and just kind of like built a box, and then they would build onto them. So these are like coal houses, or coal houses, I should say. But so those houses, some of them are over 100 or 200 years old when all the coal booming was going on, you know, around here. And I guess, I don't know what year that would have been. I guess, but basically not too far from whenever Kentucky got established as a state, maybe. I'm not really sure. Maybe I think Kentucky was established as a state in like the 1700s, but I think that happened in maybe I'm not sure. I'm not very smart in general, but I'm not very smart or knowledgeable anyways, and I'll be the first to admit it whenever it comes to history. So this over here is the Jenkins grade school. I don't know if y'all seen it or not. That's the grade school for Jenkins, the elementary school. And you can't see it, but way up that hill across from there is another housing project. We don't have but 2 housing projects in Letcher County. We have one at Weisberg. It's like downtown, kind of like in Weisberg. And then we have this one up here. It's called Mountain Breeze. But a lot of people's over the years, I don't know if it's gotten better or not, but a lot of people joke around and stuff. They all know it is mountain disease instead of mountain breeze or whatever. So, but I think that, I don't know, I think it's improved since then. I actually tried my best to get into the housing projects one time, actually a couple times, but I can't because where I'm on disability and I already own my own home, they won't let me. And plus there's like a 10-year waiting list around here to get into these places, especially the one at Weisberg, unless if you know somebody, if you know what I mean, you know, you're connected to somebody, because that's just the way it works around here, unfortunately. It's a very corrupted place, in my opinion. Now we're getting ready to go over through here. You can see some of the damages in the creek there. I don't know if you can see where it's getting so dark. But that's actually from the flood of July of 2022. It got so high and got so bad. And right here in this corner, it's not here no more, but right through there, right across from this bridge on the left-hand side there used to be a big old, somebody used to have a trailer, like years and years ago whenever I first started dating my ex-husband and started driving and coming over here by myself and stuff to visit him. This is still Letcher County. This is still like what you would call around the Jenkins area or whatever, I guess. But anyways, someone used to have a pet tiger in a cage outside right there. I always was so scared driving past that at nighttime whenever I was dating my ex-husband, because I was afraid that tiger, you could hear it growling and stuff. And I think it did get out one time, but and they had to go look for it or something. I don't know what they did, but there was seriously like a huge big old pet tiger. I don't know if it was a tiger or a lion or what it was, but there was one of them something in one of them cages. I think it was a tiger, but I could be wrong. But anyways, it was in a big cage over there. It would see it. Somebody lived in a little tiny trailer, little old ran down little bitty trailer. And I'm not throwing off on trailers. I would like to have a double wide myself. I'd love to have a double wide. They're made nice. They're made just like what anyone could ask for on the way a house is supposed to be set up or whatever. But anyways, yeah, that person had a tiger there forever outside, and you would just drive by it and you would hear it like roaring and stuff and growling and everything. It was always so creepy at nighttime whenever I drove by it and stuff. And you would hear it like knocking and stuff on the cage and stuff. It had a big old metal cage. I mean, it was huge, big old square metal cage it was in and stuff. And it was just, oh no, it was scary and stuff, because I was always afraid. I was young, you know, obviously and stuff. But I was probably like 18, 19 years old or something, because I didn't get my driver's license until I was like 18 years old. And so I'd say I was around that age, whatever, when I was driving over here by myself and stuff. And yeah, I was always afraid that was going to get out and attack me. I was always scared of it and stuff. But people back then used to have exotic animals and stuff around through here, but you don't really know of too many people anymore. You can't really see because it's so dark, but right there in that corner, that used to be a market, like a vegetable fruit market place. It was called Frank's Market, but they closed that down probably about 15 or 20 years ago. Back that's probably about when most stuff started closing down. This road is really bad, and it fell off right there since the flood of February, this past year. That's where it fell off at. I think they fixed it though, and there's another place on up here too, but they might have fixed it by now, that fell off the side of the road, or the road fell off into the creek or whatever. But that's when a lot of things started going away from here, was probably about 15 or 20 years ago. And pretty much, I mean, there is still coal mines and stuff around here. It's just not as big as it used to be and stuff. Pretty much like all the coal mining businesses and stuff like that pretty much came to a halt or stopped or whatever probably about the year of 2014, I would say. I think that's where the other dip was in the road. They might have fixed it then. Not really sure. Sorry it's getting so dark, you guys, and you can't see. This is actually the back.
You're gonna have to stop right here.
Oh, this is the place that the road see right here where this red stop sign is and stuff. This is where the road tore up big time since the flood of February 15th of 2025, just this past year. This is where it happened, which y'all might not be able to see it where it's dark and stuff. It might be too dark for y'all to see. But I'll stop this video once I get over there to pick up my daughter, so y'all can just see the drive over there or whatever. We don't have that much further to go. But this is actually a side road, what you'd call a side road, even though it is a highway road too. And it's kind of like a back road. It's a road that's not being used as much as what the main highway road is being used and stuff. It's off from Jenkins, as y'all can see. We went through Jenkins. Now I could have went the other direction, like just kept going straight, and we would have went through like Dorton and took the highway and all that. And it circles around pretty much. Used to, years ago, whenever, probably even before I started dating my ex-husband, their dad, whenever I was friends first with, we had a mutual friend, and she would spend half the year over in Pike County and half the year, like 6 months in Pike County and 6 months in Letcher County, and she was a year older than me. But anyways, her mom and dad had their divorce separation, like in the paperwork, so it was like that. So she would spend half the year with her dad, half the year with her mom, and her dad lived her dad lived in Letcher County, and her mommy lived in Pike County. Yeah, you can't see it, but that's how bad the road got. Big old chunk of it got took off from the water, because there's a creek on the other side. I don't know if y'all can see it or not. I guess you can't because it's too dark, but we're going under, we've already went under like 2 of them, and I think there was like 2 or 3 that you used to go under, and they've kind of took them off. Right there you can kind of see one of those little pedestal things standing up there. Those used to be tracks from the train a long time ago. They even started taking those down like before I started dating my ex-husband. They started taking those down even before then. But my dad, because he's the one that brought me over here the first time I ever went to my ex-husband's parents' house and stuff to see him or whatever. And my dad knew exactly where to go to, because when my dad was about 16 or 17 years old, he used to dig graves for a side job when he was a teenager. And he was saying that he remembered going underneath of those pillars like that from where they used to have the tracks. and stuff, but they've took them all up and stuff. They took those up, like I said, even before I was dating my ex-husband. So I think that's about the time that they really took them down, was around whenever I started dating my ex-husband. So they've been gone for a long time now. And I don't know if you're all familiar or if you've seen that movie called, or TV series, I think it was on Netflix a few years back. It was called Hellier, I think it was, or it took place in Hellier, Kentucky. And Hellier, Kentucky, it's creepy too, about the little aliens or whatever, if you want to call them that or whatever. Anyways, I can't see to drive good hardly at nighttime either. People are bright lighting me like crazy. But anyways, Hellier is just like maybe not even 15-20 minutes away from over here, up the road from here, from where my ex-husband and his family live at. So it's just up the road from where they filmed that at and stuff. I don't know if y'all know what I'm talking about or not. It was like about supernatural things that took place and stuff on that TV show. Or if you're all familiar, I don't know how to explain it, but if you're all familiar whenever I say the 411, like in zones and stuff like that, like supernatural type things taking place and everything that lies on the 411. Well, unfortunately, my house and even this road that we've drove on and stuff, and where they live at too, that's all what you would consider being on the 411, all these areas over here. So, and I have seen some creepy stuff, you know, in my lifetime or whatever. But that's stories for a different day, I guess. I've never experienced these little creatures like they showed on the Netflix series or nothing like that, the Hellier creatures or whatever you want to call them. But I've had other experiences and stuff, situations, whatever. We're almost there, guys. I know y'all can't see much because it's so dark. This road is really curvy too. My ears are popping like crazy too though, because just like maybe 30 minutes away from here too, from where his parents and they live at, it's right at the brakes. That's how you get to the brakes. You just keep going straight. And so if you're familiar with the brakes, it's supposed to be the gateway of the east, just like out west has theirs, you know. And so this is supposed to be the eastern side, you know. Obviously it's not as big and beautiful as what it is out west, but this is supposed to be the canyon or whatever, you know, like the Grand Canyon or whatever to the east or whatever. Whenever it rains and stuff over here, you can't see it, but on the other side of those guardrails, that's where the creek is at too. And that creek gets really, really high, really fast too. It don't take much. And one of the times back, well, probably about 5 months ago or so, I was coming over here and picking up one of my daughters, or taking one of my daughters over here or something. And it started pouring the rain. And as I was going back towards the house and just looking over there at the side of the road and next to the creek, I seen a deer. It was in the water. It wasn't really drowning, but you know, it probably had to. It was stuck in the water though, and I'd never seen that in my life. It was so unusual. It was just in that brown water, you know, flood water that was getting up high, and it was just going straight with the water down the creek or whatever. And it was just, it didn't really look, it was swimming. I guess it was swimming though, I don't know. Here's another one of those pillars. I don't know if you can see it or not. Those used to have tracks on them for the trains and stuff, but I don't know how many of those pillar things there is all together. I think there's like 3 or 4 from the Jenkins area to here on Elkhorn Creek. This is called Elkhorn Creek too, by the way, what we're driving on. And this road is very, very curvy. If you're not used to it, or if you have motion sickness like me, it might take a bit for you to get used to it and stuff. I'm still not completely used to it. A lot of times people do, because people don't understand it, I guess, because they live here all the time and stuff. Sometimes they will have a little road rage and blow their horn at you and stuff, or other things to get you off the road and stuff. They get impatient around here. And so it's what it is. But we're pretty much there. We're almost there. This is their pull off right here. Now this is where my ex and his family live at. His parents and sister and nieces and stuff like that. This right here bridge too is a little bit awkward, I guess you could say. It's especially since that last flood. Well, they did fix all this. I don't know if you can see it or not. On the side of the road there, where it has that white bracing and stuff. That was from the flood of July of 2022 when they fixed that. But then the road got bad again from this last flood here in February of 2025. This last flood, you see how rutted out it is? This is some of the worst places since this last flood. And there is people that live in them little campers and houses and stuff. But right over here, you can't see it. That right there, that double wide, is where my daughter's at right now with her grandparents and her dad's family. This is just a little tiny hollow, and it's called Rough Hollow. It's where my ex is from. He's lived other places though, him and his family have, but this right here is where they live at now. And ever since I've known them, this is where they live at. But I will get off of here and talk to y'all later. That's just a little tour there of how it is and stuff to get over here. I'll talk to y'all later. Thanks for watching. Talk to you later. Thanks. Bye-bye. Have a good day, good night, whatever. Thanks. Bye-bye.